You've driven past them hundreds of times, those giant colored balls hanging from power lines. But here's the crazy part. Almost nobody knows what they're actually for. Most people think they're just decorations. Or maybe something to scare birds away. Sounds believable, right? But here's the truth. Without these simple-looking spheres, a routine flight could turn deadly in less than 3 seconds. They're not for cars. They're not for birds. They're called aerial marker balls, and they're built for one reason: helping pilots stay alive. Here's what most people never realize. From inside a low-flying helicopter, those thin power lines almost completely disappear. Against dark forests, rocky mountains, or bright sunlight, the wires blend into the background almost perfectly. And that's exactly where the danger begins, because by the time a pilot finally spots the cable, it may already be too late.
Imagine you're flying a helicopter at highway speed. You spot the wire ahead, but your brain has almost no time to react.
And hitting a high-voltage line isn't a minor mistake. It can turn a routine flight into a disaster in seconds. Here's the kicker. Those giant orange balls don't make the wires safer. They simply make them impossible to miss. They act like giant visual warning signs in the sky. And pilots can spot them from much farther away than a bare cable. And they're not as simple as they look. Inside that bright shell is a carefully designed system built for extreme conditions. The ball has to stay visible from the air without becoming a giant sail for the wind. That's why the mounting system matters just as much as the bright orange shell. But there's another problem nobody sees from the highway: water. Rain can get inside these markers, and if it has nowhere to go, winter can turn that tiny problem into a heavy one. So engineers give the sphere tiny drainage openings. And there's one more detail that gives these balls their real power. The colors aren't random. Orange is popular for one big reason. It stands out against the sky, trees, and open landscapes where pilots need to see it. But when the background changes, the best color can change too. And that's why you may see white or yellow markers instead. Here's the part most people miss. These aren't just decorations hanging randomly over highways. Their placement matters too. They're placed where pilots are most likely to cross or approach the wires, especially near airports, rivers, valleys, and open flight paths. So next time you spot one from the driver's seat, don't just see a giant orange ball. See the warning hidden behind it, because something that looks completely ordinary from the ground can be a life-saving signal from the sky. And that tiny detail is doing something you probably never thought about: making an invisible danger visible before it's too late. But here's one last detail. These markers aren't only about what you see. They're also about giving pilots enough time to react. Because at hundreds of feet in the air, a few extra seconds can make all the difference. So next time you spot one on a road trip, look up. You might be looking at the one thing keeping a hidden wire from becoming a disaster.